Yeah, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the live stream, and hope this fine Wednesday is well, it's finding you in good spirits. A little warm this morning here. Uh, we're into August already, aren't we? How's everybody doing? Yeah, Walter, welcome in. Just welcome to those that are joining us. Tech Mantra, and I can't remember if Usha's still here, but today I just thought a nice little relaxing stream and maybe a little target shooting if we wanted to do that. I did actually just, people have asked me about that in the past, so I've wanted to sort of highlight, that it is just a rifle, it's not actually a hunting rifle. And it's part of my old, one of my old hobbies used to be um, shooting, target range shooting, for fun and sport. So having my own backyard like this and not having to worry about that and no neighbours to be concerned over, then yeah, it's a good opportunity to be able to literally shoot from your porch, as well as enjoying the nature surroundings as well. So um, and so one of the little guns that I use out here, it's a very low powered rifle. It's a 177 caliber, which is a very small caliber, and it's just really for target shooting at maybe up to 50 yards. Beyond that, it'll fly like crazy. So by fly it'll drift, and so it's not designed for a high power. It is just designed for fun. And it's actually a pump action rifle, so you have to pump it to charge it. Unlike some air rifles, are brake barrel, and then others are called pre-charged pneumatic, which is basically a pressure air cylinder that you fill either directly from an air compressor or via a what's called a buddy bottle, or like basically a small scuba tank, which is filled with compressed air, and you top that up from that bottle to charge your rifle. And so obviously the basic difference between an air rifle and a powder charge weapon, a firearm, is that the charge is air in an air rifle instead of it being gunpowder. That's the difference. And so the tiny little pellets that we use, the little things, these are H and N, or I can't remember the guy's name, Hengler and Naderman, a German company. You won't be able to see that. But they're a domed pellet, and they're for target field practice. Hey, Renu Cool. Hi, Renu. Thanks for coming in. So, I'm doing well, thanks. It's starting to get a little warm. I hope that our friend Reno in London, in UK, is doing well. Good to see you. Hello, everybody, for coming by. We're just doing a quick intro, and then I will show you what I'm going to be, probably doing a little bit off today. And if people want to chat about that or just anything, then they can. So yeah, Reno doing well. It's just after 11 here, so just after 4 in the afternoon for you, I guess. And it's getting a little warm and humid. Good to know. Good to know. Claire O'Keefe. Yeah, hi, Claire. Yeah. Hello, how are you doing? So I've just been talking a little bit about, just having a bit of fun with the air rifle from the porch, and explaining like what it's like just to be able to do some fun target practice. And I'll switch the camera in a bit, and I have the gun charged and ready to go to do our first shot. Um, what I would like to do, if I do this again, would be to have a split screen. So the camera would be close to the targets, and then you'd have this view looking over from my shoulder. What I could do as well is to purchase maybe a mount for the phone, so that you can actually mount it to the rifle scope, and then you can actually see through the rifle scope itself from your point of view. And yeah, Walter, by the way, say hello to Reno. I'm not sure if you know each other. So yeah, basically there's lots of options to do this sort of, but for just now, and ease of use, I'm just going to use my cell phone. I'll reverse the view when I take a shot, and then maybe I'll take us down to the target range, and we'll see, where on that target we've hit. And what I'm actually using is just some old beer cans. They're very thin metal, and I put a stone on the top, and then I can collect them easily. No glass or anything, and they're cheap. And as you can see from the hole that's punched through that, This is me yesterday, what we call zeroing in the rifle to the scope itself. So I'm looking at this hole through my crosshairs, and when I'm taking a shot, the pellets on the first two shots, one landed low in there and the other one high in there, you can see. So I dial the scope over and down, and then I take another shot and I hit right where I need to hit, and then I've just been practicing knocking holes around that. The whole area is about 5, 6 shots for consistency. So that should tell me that the rifle is and scope are on for the range that we're shooting at today, which is about 50 yards. So, well, it's actually, no, it's not actually. It's probably more like 40. So it's a little about 100 feet. It's not far. Hey, DJ, good to see everybody coming in today. Yeah, the good thing about air rifles is they tend not to have any recoil, unlike a powder charge weapon. So they're really good for teaching people how to the disciplines of actually shooting. And one of those is being aware of what's behind the target that you're shooting at. If you're shooting at something, then you're disappointed in that accuracy. Yeah, well. Also, the rifle is a cheap rifle, and so pellets will often do come out at what we know as flyers, and so the pellet doesn't leave the barrel straight, or there's windage downrange. If there's a gust of wind with these little pellets, it'll blow it off. So there's that to take into consideration. But yeah, this is a cheap kid's rifle basically that I wanted to show. So when I reverse the camera, and the scope is actually a Sig Sauer scope, the Bushmaster, and it's a very nice scope, quite cheap, about $170, but for what it does, it's excellent for close range target shooting. And then, like I said before, the air rifle is a 177 pump, so you pump it up to around 10 pumps. I usually give it 15 for the extra push, which is, it's currently charged to that now, so that's about 550, 600 feet per second. When I take a shot, you won't be able to see the target. As I was saying, next time I do this, I will be looking at doing a split dual screen with the camera up close on the target and then from here. But yeah. Oh, cool, Reno. Yeah. Yeah, SIGs are awesome. Yeah. Yes, and it is a rifle barrel on this. The gun itself, I'll just go back to these questions real quick. To Pink saying, is it a rifle barrel? Yes, this is a rifle barrel. It's not smooth bore, but it has the dual capacity of being a pellet and a BB gun rifle. Now, as we know, BB are ball bearing, and you never want to put ball bearings or steel down a rifle barrel. Air rifle barrels are softer than a powder charge rifle barrel, because then they don't have to deal with such levels of force and friction. Yeah, and so this is quite accurate for a cheap gun. This actually cost only $70, and it's meant to be a Christmas gift. It's a step up to what over here is known as the Daisy, or the Daisy Rider, I think it is. Right, yeah, they were very popular kids' toys, and so this is really what it's marketed as. And I want to show it off because it is deadly accurate and powerful for what it is. Then I matched it up with a better than the rifle scope, as I say in the SIG. Yeah, Maharani. Hi, Maharani. Welcome, everybody, and thanks for coming by. And so, yes, many of us have had practice with shooting. And so it's a very quiet rifle. These are the pellets that we'll be using. I'm not sure it might be reversed for you. It probably is. But these are good pellets, accurate. And in a second, I'll probably just take this first shot, and hopefully we'll hear, we'll hear that, you'll hear that hit the target for downrange, because there will be a delay, obviously. Yeah, so I hope everyone's doing. Yeah, bronze tips. Yeah, they're good. Bit harder. Yeah, so there are different pellets you would have, like the normal lead, like these, but then you can go into different types. You can get copper pellets, which are a little harder, and they have a flatter trajectory than maybe. These are not heavy pellets, so they don't drop, which is always funny in an air rifle shot. If you take it in the long range, you can see the pellet fly, and actually see where it's hitting its target sometimes when it catches the light. That's always funny. But there's the copper tips are very hard, so they're really designed for deeper penetration on a target. Let me just see. Let's check on where we're at. So, what I'm thinking about doing right now, real quick, these are small grain actually. For these, they're only. Let me just tell you what the grain is. Thanks for reminding me. So, they're only at 0.56 gram, which is 8.64 grains. So they're not heavy. Obviously a 2.2, you go 14, 16, heavier, depending on what weight you want to use. They're a 4.5 millimeter, 177 caliber, and so they're very small. And these ones are just a field target trophy. And these are the best for accuracy through a cheap rifle. I think the consistency is good. Yeah, so yesterday I managed to zero in the rifle, I think, but I'm finding that occasionally when I come back the next day to take a shot, sometimes it's off, and I have to take a second shot just to see if it was me or whether the pellet was a flyer. So what I'll do is I'll just reverse the camera a little and move it over real quick to the gun itself, to the rifle. And over there, right off in the distance, you might be able to make out the 3 beer cans sitting on that tree log there. So I'll be going for that first, then one on our left, first one on the left. I'll try and just get that. It's a pistol grip, which is really good because it means you can really wrap both hands around it. And what I will do is I bring it up from, I've got these foam stands so that we can make the rifle as steady as possible, but there's a lot of movement in this. It's not a proper, rifle, rest. I would normally have a normal rifle rest. Okay, thank you for that. So we're going to take our first shot to the one on the left and see. I'll just get into position. I don't need the shima today to cover the scope because I have the sun up and above me and behind me, so I don't need to cover the scope. I can see well. I have to reverse my hat. So I come up real up to it, and I can already see the target very clearly. The scope is on full max zoom, and I'm just going to bring my left hand and my fingers over. The safety is off right now. The safety is not on, and then the reach on the trigger is quite short. But I'm going to be aiming for the bottom of these cans. Downrange are 16-ounce cans, so it has a number 16 at the bottom, and that's what I'm going to aim for. The scope also comes with a red dot facility, so you can adjust in the center of the scope itself. It'll give you a red dot, and in bright light like this is useful too. Okay, here we go. I'm going to take a breath. Oh man, it knocked it clean off. So, pretty sure, confident that hit on the 16, like I said. It seemed to certainly impact what I was looking at, and but unfortunately it knocked the first target down. I put rocks on there. Hey, Big in Scotland, good to see you. Welcome in, my friend. Big in Scotland, there's a friend of mine, a new friend of ours. Live streamer from Scotland. How is Scotland today, Ryan? Friend is called Ryan. Yeah, it's called Ryan, if that's okay, everybody. You're in the live stream, so since you come here often, I'm going to give you a moderator, Ryan. There you go. Just makes it easier for people to add you. So, yeah, check out Ryan's channel. He does some good stuff, some gaming, and nature walks and such like that. So pretty cool. Yeah, Maharani, I'm sure. Yeah, we will. We will try and do that after the live stream. Yeah, no problem. Sure we would. Yeah. Thank you, Maharani. So I'm going to flip the camera back, boom, and just bring it back. Just pop myself up there. Warm today, yeah. It is, yeah. Where you are or where I am, it's definitely warm here. Yeah, super. Uh, it's not even, wow, what time is it? Quarter after? Yeah, quarter after 11. Down the line. Down the line, that's a new name to me. Hi, down the line. What are we shooting? It's just a pellet gun, 177 air rifle. We've just taken the first shot, and I'm going to go and retrieve that can in a minute, and just to see where we actually hit the target. I was explaining to folks earlier, oh, warm in Scotland. Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, tomorrow apparently. Hey, don't forget the eclipse tonight, guys, over in the UK. If you're all in the UK there, and obviously a lot of people, friends of ours, are in Spain as well. So you have the 96 or 90% ish total eclipse. So that'll be fun. Yeah, down the line. So I was just explaining to down the line. We're just doing a bit of fun. It's just the air rifle is a small pump action Barra, made by a company called Barra. I can't remember the model, but what I will do is I'll just lift it up, and because I have to pump it. It's the only downside to this is I have to pump it. So there's the pump. So and there's the breech. It's a single low breech, and so you would pull back the bolt, and the breech is here. If I can get, it's right here somewhere. You can't see it because of all this crap I've put on it. But so then you pump it. And I gave it 15 for that. Recommended, the retailer recommends only 10. But the seals will hold. But you wouldn't want to leave it charged for very long periods of time. And one of the tricky parts of this rifle is, because it's a side-loading breech, fiddly little pellets, if you've got to make sure that you load them in front first, obviously. Right, so that's in, bolt forward and locked in. So ready to go, safety on. So I'll put that down for now. We have a second target coming up in a minute. See if I can knock that one down, hey. Yeah, good to see everybody in today. Thank you everyone for coming in. Let me just quickly go back and make sure I'm keeping up with everybody's comments while I wasn't being able to look. Okay, cool. Yes, DJ Pink has some good music. He was a good DJ, as his friend DJ Miz, who were friends of ours on the channel. So if you want to check them out, Ryan, then and I'm pretty sure Walter has too. And if we want to help Walter, guys, Walter has got a new channel, and he needs more subscribers. So if we can get him more subscribers, I think we got him an extra 2 or 3 the other day. So he must be approaching them. He'll be getting up to 100 soon. So if you want to subscribe, he's just starting out with it really on that channel. So that'd be good. Yeah, Maharani, I did read your messages. You're talking about your video. Yeah. Comment on the videos. Yeah. I'm trying to deal with everybody at once. Okay, like your long video. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thanks Ryan for that. Gave him a sub. So I hope that you guys are going to enjoy the rest of the show. It's only going to be not too long, probably an hour, no more than an hour and a half. I do want to take you down range in the end, just to show you where we hit. But like I've said before, if I do this again, I'll do a double screen, a split screen of the targets up close, maybe different ranges, or just something like that, just to make it more interesting for everybody. DJ Pink, I'm going to get my rifle out now. I don't blame you. It is fun, and I guess I'm lucky. Yeah, I guess I'm lucky where I am, having the space available to just shoot from the porch. apart from the occasional low-flying small plane, I'm pretty cool, pretty good. Thank you for your likes, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you. So yeah, it's a sport, it's a hobby for me, and part of, that's why I wanted to show it. Like I've said, no animals are ever hurt in the making of this video, but some subscribers' minds might be broken. I'm not sure. I don't know whether some people think there's a juxtaposition between being into nature and having an air rifle or rifles or guns. So I don't know. Ah, you've thrown axes. You might like Kieran then, Ryan, from Irish Trail Cam Clips. He actually shoots bows and arrows and makes videos and throws axes. Kieran in Ireland. I can't remember his last name now. Kieran Martin. His channel is Irish Trail Cam Clips. So that, sometimes he comes in here, but it depends. Thank you, Ashu Verma. It'll be meat that should be shot. Is the one shooting first? No, I haven't heard that one before. Yeah, you're welcome. That's it. That's why I give moderator status when people come in live, and so it's easier for people to add each other. But I don't tend to always keep them all as moderators. Otherwise, I would just have a huge list of people who I might never see again or could mess with stuff. So, Panka, hey there, welcome in. Thanks for doing your likes and your subscribes to each other. Please check each other's channels out when you get the time. I'm subscribed to so many channels right now. I must be over 1,000 now, I think. And it's really difficult to get around everybody, and do your own stuff as well if you're a creator. I wanted to quickly touch on that before I take the next shot on the air rifle. There's been a big update, as many of you probably know, with YouTube. They're increasing the threshold for monetization. So we as a channel are not really concerned about monetization, not on YouTube. We don't agree with it anyway. They take far too much. It's like they're a pimp, and they just take like 40% of whatever you earn. There are better ways to make money through online presence, content creation, or whether vlogging, blogging, whatever, that take far less. And if we were to wanted to make money, we have a good line of merchandise already lined up that we'd like to share with people one day with some really good designs. But we wouldn't be, if we do monetize it, it'd be the basic one, which is, we've already achieved that. Well, in fact, I think we're about 50 hours away now from our 3,000 watch time hours. And then that gives you the membership, which we would have membership, but we're not into super chat and all of that sort of thing. Well, basically, Ryan, they're taking the threshold from 4,000 watch time hours for long form monetization. They're doubling it. They're doubling it as of end of January next year. So if you're wanting the 4,000 right now, and you want to achieve the highest level of monetization, then you've got 12,000 hours watch time. Well, yeah, there you go then. You're not bothered about that. Neither are we. But so they're increasing that to 8,000 hours required now. But the lower threshold one still stays. My point to this isn't about monetization. Actually, it's more about I refuse to watch YouTube keep doing and treating people the way they do. Hey, Vanessa. Hi, good to see you. Sorry if I'm missing people right now. Just bear with me. I just want to finish my thought on this. Panka, good to see you, friend. Just want to finish my thought on it. I just think it's outrageous, the way that they treat people and then just explain it away. They're the ones that are making hundreds of billions of dollars a year out of people for only providing a system that pays them more money for them not doing much work for it. Everybody else is doing it. And everyone's clamoring to become what they have a career on YouTube. My point being to that is what happens if the internet goes off, for some reason. And like whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to be a YouTube whore, basically. I'm not. So, like I say, we're 60 hours, 50 hours away from that 3,000 watch time hour figure. We'll probably have that done in the next week or so. We might do the membership, but those memberships will be given to people. They're not. People aren't going to be paying for them. So that's it. That's what we want to do. If I say if we want to, right, big in Scotland, you're trying to hit the 3,000. If you need to get them before end of January, then. And this is another thing I don't like about that, is because other people have got that, they're exempt then, they're okay. But if you're a struggling channel, and you could be going for a year or more before you're going to get that, or maybe not. It takes a while to get those watch time hours, you know. Never mind 500 subscribers, whatever, it doesn't matter. But people who watch your hours, watch your channel, yeah, that matters. So there are two ways of doing it. You can do it organically, or you can go to a bot farm in India and pay them 50 quid and get your 1,000 hours like that, if that's all you needed. And there are lots of people to do it. I know a few on YouTube whose channel success suddenly is blown up, and they've been doing one live stream, and suddenly after that live stream they've gained 500-600 subscribers. I'm like, no, doesn't happen. And then when you go in the live stream, you look at them and they're going, oh, I've got 6,000, 7,000 subscribers. You go in the live stream, there's never anybody there. So I'd like to see what, you know, their subscriber list, you know, what their, you know, when they keep their base hidden, because I'm pretty sure a lot of them names begin with Ngigi or something like that, and are made up, they're bots. They do it with watch time, they do it with figures. So 2 months, wow. What, Ryan? What kind of watch time have you got so far? Then, if you don't want to answer that, don't do it in public. That's fine. But yeah, I just think it's unfair, you know, what they're doing, and they're just milking people for the sake of it now. The only answer they could give to that, and whoever came up with that idea, I can imagine what the boardroom was like, or the development team that were discussing that. I know. Why don't we? Yeah, it's very hard. Why don't we just double the requirement? And because we're having a problem, we've got so many creators out there now, so we need to narrow it down. So we'll just make it tougher. I mean, if you're just doing, you know, like organic content, and you're looking for watch time hours, that's a long way. You have to be popular to be gaining 100 or 200 watch time hours in a go. Do you know what I mean? Just one go. Yeah. So 550 subs, so you're over the sub line, and 700 hours. Okay. Yeah. Well, this is why we can try and help each other. If you really like what Big in Scotland does, go check out his channel, and you've seen what he's saying here. Subscribe, but at least try and watch, you know, get through some of what his content is. Maybe, you know, what I try and do for people, because I have multiple devices available, if I have friends, I'll look for their longest video, and I'll go put that on in the bedroom while I'm doing stuff in the house. I know I'm not watching it. I'm not going to apologize for that, but I'm running the video. I've done it 12-hour long videos, just left them running so people get that full 12. Yeah. And that adds up, you know, if I'm running that on the bedroom TV and in the living room, and I'm out on here in the porch, on the porch doing what I'm doing now, that's 24 hours. If you've got a 12-hour stream going, like I have a few, or 6 hours, you get 2 views there, bang. And you do that every day for your friend, and you watch one of their new videos, and you just run it. Yeah, gaming. Ryan does gaming and walks, he says, big in Scotland, gaming and walks, and some fantastic castles and things like that. In fact, he made me laugh. He made me laugh the other day because he went to do this video, I can't remember of a castle which one it was, and there was too many kids running around, you know. So he decided, he was like, oh, start. And then, so he found this path, right, walking along this path, and it's nice and peaceful, you know. And he mentioned this. He's like, you know, couldn't do it because there were all these kids. And as soon as he said it, a family came around the corner with this kid, and he was like, see what I mean? I was like, oh, yeah. Yeah, it was pretty funny, yeah. So what do you say? Let me interrupt this little chat real quick while you're here. Thanks for hanging out. And let's take this next shot and see what you see. Let me know what you think of the view, because I know it's not going to be brilliant for you as much as I would like it to be. because you can't see the target for one. You just see me shoot. But hopefully, I'll probably take the camera off and walk down there and have a look. You know, see what damage I've done to those nasty beer cans. All right, so I'm getting situated, and I've still got the red dot on the scope, so it really is a good benefit to have. And take the safety off. Okay, so I'm looking at the smaller target, which is a 12-ounce can, and again I'm going to aim roughly for the center, around about just above the 12 on the can itself. Oh, it's a bullseye, right in the center, bang on. This is absolutely, as we say in the British Army, cock on, mate. All right, cock on. All right. I don't know if you heard the hit as well, but let me know if you did, because it's a good hit. And that's another reason why I like these pellets. Um, yeah, Ryan, it is. Sorry, I thought you knew that. Yeah, it's Dave. Yeah, cheers. And uh, DJ Pink is Lee. Lee Carrick, DJ Pink. And Walter, we have Walter. Is new to us, but he's a very good guy. I like Walter. Just looking back. So Walters, so they don't have to be watch time in lives. Yeah, lives are super. Yeah, live streaming, you know, an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours. Um, they get partial views, so some people it looks like they have 500, 600 views, but YouTube's counting how long somebody's actually been in the stream for. Doesn't necessarily always mean that they're full views. But say for example, on one of our recent lives, we gained 60 watch time hours from one live, and that was because we had like 300 views or so, but we had people stay with us for longer, you know. And then some friends actually watched the video again, or watched after the fact, you know. So they really helped. So, you know, hats off to them for doing that. Appreciate that a lot. Yeah, I mean, actually, Verma, some of our friends in India don't, you know, thank you for coming in and advertising and getting us to come and enjoy your channels too. You know, certainly a lot of us will do that. And we always do return that favour, obviously. Wouldn't, that's why we give that. And if there's anybody who needs a hat who hasn't got one, a hat I mean a blue coat or whatever they call them, and moderator, let me know. If you want one, I can do that for you now, and then you can, you know, it makes it easier for people to add you. But just be aware that not everybody keeps them after the fact, after the stream, because otherwise I'd have so many moderators, I wouldn't know who was who. So I like to keep some, you know, always moderators, because those are people who actually will moderate the channel for me as well when I'm not around. Yeah. So what do you think? Maybe we've had 2 shots so far through the rifle. If there's any more questions about that rifle, the only thing is I have to pump it again for the next reload. So I mean, you'll hear that when I'm doing it. So if it's too much for you when I'm reloading it, pumping it, let me know and I'll mute my microphone just for a minute while I recharge it, because I realise that might be a bit much. Slap, slap, snap, you know. Yeah, I think maybe I'll just take a walk down there. Down the line, I have a Weirach H100 HW, very good air rifle. Yes. Oh, well, it's German, isn't it? I mean, let's face it, the Germans often make the best firearms and weaponry. Heckler and Koch, one of my other favourites. Sig Sauer I like because they're an American company, but Heckler and Koch, I mean, would be my always my. Yeah, you know, I have other options too. down the line, I'm going to add you as a moderator if you mind, unless you don't need it. You make that easier for others to add you. I'm not saying that that would stay forever, but if you keep coming in here and we do see each other, then that would be nice. Okay, thank you, Walter. Yes, she might keep her subscriptions private. Right. So I'm gonna switch the camera real quick. I'm going to take a little walk over to the target right downrange, and let's have a look at. I can sort of remind us what I was looking at the time. It's a little view. Now, one thing about this scope, I'm just going to talk about before we do look, and hopefully you can see the turrets, which I want to show you here. Most good scopes will always come with 3 turrets, and you can fit side wheels to them. Now this turret on the left hand side of the scope would normally be for parallax view, but on this rifle it doesn't have a parallax turret. This is for your red dot sight, so you can adjust the intensity depending on the light. The top turret is for your elevation up and down, for when you're moving the scope, whether that be for different ranges, and then on the right again you have left and right. Okay, so always goes right clockwise. No, anti-clockwise, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, so basically you use those to adjust the scope to the different range, as if you were shooting all the way down into the trees, for example. So, let's have a quick walk, and let's have a look at these 2 nasty beer cans that we popped earlier, shall we? So, you get a little bit, it's not too far distance. Let's see, it's just actually getting up there. There we go, I'll take this way, okay? Got lots of granite here. Got all this lovely granite and sparkly. Can you see the sparkly granite? Not sure you'll be able to see if I can catch that crystal in there. Anyway, step onto this. Well, yeah, that's right. I dropped one, didn't I? I'll have to pick that one up. So, like I said, for the second target, when I said it was cock on, you see where the 12 is on that? I said I was aiming just above the 12. It's exactly where I was aiming. So my scope is on. Now, if some wind might have gusted across here when I took the shot, it could have drifted. Or it could have been me moving a little when I pulled the shot, you know. And then occasionally you'll get a pellet that does fly. It doesn't come out the barrel true, you know. Flora. Hello, Flora. Flora Undisa, my friend in Kenya, everybody. Good live stream. Please check her out. She's a very friendly person, good sister. So, we just did that. This one is the last target, but let's have a look at the first one that I took out. I knocked it off. I actually hit it so hard somewhere. So it might have been a flyer. Oh, I have to lean over. Yeah, now I can see. Oh. Right. See that is typical of a flyer. That. See there? That's why it knocked it off, because I put them on stones and they're empty. You could put water in there, but every time you hit them, they just fly, you know, it knock them off. So I was aiming for the 16 there, and the pellet actually hit there. It hit the bottom, and that's why it flipped it off. So we can put that back where it was, somewhere. Oh, I think it was there. Yeah. Hold on. Stick a big rock on it. It doesn't want to. Let's see. Right there. Yeah. We'll do that one again. So it just goes to show, you know. Like I said, it's a cheap rifle, really. It's not even a couple $100, you know. It's just a kid's toy, but it's a lot of fun. So I highly recommend them as a Christmas present for their kids, and show them out if they've got a place to shoot and they can be responsible, and teach them responsibility. You just, I've got nothing behind me there to hit, so, you know, so no one's going to get hurt. Yeah, You get a tracer. There's a lot of things I'm thinking about. Reno's in the house again. Hello, Reno. So, Reno Cool, our channel, good friends. Please check out Reno's channel if you haven't. And I think most of us already are, but there probably definitely is a few of us that are not yet. Reno's great. She really helps you promote your channel. So if you go into her channel when she's doing a live stream and say hello, she usually will give you a moderator status straight away, and she'll really help promote your channel, get subscribers and such. And hopefully those subscribers will, thank you, Ryan. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's like 35 acres of woodland up there. That's all ours, mate. With a private cemetery over there, closed one now. One of the oldest in the United States. From the mid 1600s. Yeah. So, yeah, it's pretty good. Beautiful day. Again, you can see. I do take walks up there. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I do take walks up there. In fact, we could do a quick one, real quick. We'll just go up into the woods. I've done this before for some live streams, but since we're here, maybe you haven't seen it. So, beautiful. Love this place, man. Absolutely love it. You know, some people are, you lucky son of a bitch. Well, I paid a high price for it. I won't lie to you. Not money, in life. In the UK, I'm considered fully disabled and entitled to full disability benefits. I choose not to, and I came here. I don't claim benefits in the United States, and ever since I have, I really shouldn't be able to walk, but I do. So this is the woods, a little bit of them, and as I've said before, just as mostly for Ryan or anybody else, they go way down there for about a couple of miles. Yeah. I can't go too further because I lose the 5G signal if I go in that direction. But yeah, we have the fire pit area here that we use. We haven't used it this year. Yeah. We're doing fires around here. Yeah. So this is where I sometimes shoot from, and there is a bit of a collection of targets down there that I haven't cleaned up yet. That's about 100 yards from where we're seated over there underneath the tent on the porch. Thank you for joining, everybody. Thank you for adding each other. Please check out each other's content when you get a chance. So yeah, the targets are sometimes on that, and I obviously adjust the scope for that range, or you just if you know how you need to elevate for the shot, we don't need to adjust the scope. You just aim slightly higher to where on your scope where your crosshairs would be. There's usually, all scopes have markers or mil dots, and you can you pretend that line is your new crosshair, so you put that on the point of impact. So we'll explain point of impact and point of aim. Point of aim, or POA, is where you're actually looking at the target and where you want to hit. And point of impact is where the pellet or the round actually hits. And that's the combination of many things. It could be the shooter, if you're wobbling a lot, if you don't have a good breathing, you're not relaxed, you're too tense, you pull the trigger, or you snap at the trigger rather than just let it go. And there's windage, which is wind down range, which can affect a flight. And of course there's elevation and distance. Are all factors, so basic 3 factors. There are others. We were talking about cross elevation and rotation of the earth, the long range shots. That's a different story. And you don't need that with an air rifle. Yeah. You're not going to be shooting over a mile, or more. Okay. So, you can see the first round that we took dropped low. It was on target, so it doesn't need moving left or right, but it dropped low. We didn't adjust anything on the rifle scope to take that. We took another shot and it hit bang on, bullseye. So, The round that we actually did was a drop shot. It dropped. That could be, and it certainly wasn't me because I was very steady when I took it. So it just goes to show you that it was the rifle itself, how the pellet came out the barrel. It didn't come out properly, and that happens. Hey, Bare Bones, welcome in. Where is he? Hang on a minute. I need to put my glasses on, and I'm going to remount the camera on the table real quick, and then I can get back to you guys in the text. There we go. Whew, man, it's getting hot, really hot now. Switch camera. Whew, wow. Hey, Bare Bones. Thank you down the line. Big in Scotland. I have got dinner, Dave, and chat. Thanks for all the subs there, people. All right, there, Ryan. Thanks for coming in, mate. Yeah, basically, no bipod. I haven't got a bipod for it, so I just use that. It works. A couple of pieces of black foam. You could put it on that barrel. I mean, it's a bit awkward, but because it's not break barrel, yeah. I mean, it would work. Yeah. Oh man, Woo. Yeah. Everybody check out Bare Bones' channel. I was following the other day, and we were having a bit of a laugh. He was in the town of Bournemouth on a visit there on the south coast of England. Oh yeah, I'm just going to cool down a sec because try a quick look over your chat. Let's see. Good to see you down the line. Thanks for joining us. Yeah. Walter says my granddaughter's 18th birthday. They go up so fast. Wow. Sorry, I'm not. I didn't miss. I missed that obviously because I wasn't able to see my text. But well, congratulations, Walter's granddaughter. 18. Ooh, go away. That's awesome. Congratulations. Sapna. Hello, Sapna. Welcome in. Sapna. Okay, nice. Sapna, are you still with us? Let me just give you a moderator so you can add people. Hope she is. Thank you for your comments, guys. Yeah. Who are you talking to, B? Are you talking to Big in Scotland? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's got some interesting stuff going on there. I can't always get to catch it when he's live at the same time. But so I was saying earlier, just real quick, if I do another one of these, like this type of thing, this is what I call my hobby, the narrator hobby faves. It's a bit of fun hanging out with some online friends, and hopefully they'll also help each other out, and help us in return with some watch time and what have you, likes and such. But I mean, if I do this again, I'd like to do a split screen and have a camera up on, at the target range area, so you get to see the action as it hits, and then I won't need to have to keep going up all the time and looking at it and what have you, and then you have a view from here. I could put a mount on the scope and mount the phone to the scope, but they're expensive, and I haven't got the money to start shelling out for that just yet. But I mean, that's an option, and I think that would look really cool from a live point. Just you seeing through the scope with the red dot and seeing the target, like it was from your point of view. So yeah, thank you, Renu and Flora. Yeah, DJ Pink. If you're ever after something to play with, I'd highly recommend a Crossman SBR. Due CO2. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. I know I was looking at some of those with the CO2, double CO2 canisters, and they are fun. There's so many, like, they're just like, that type of thing. Yeah. I think the one I was looking at, there's some really nice looking ones as well. There's like 500 rounds in a mag. You know, it's like, okay. Yeah, exactly. Shooting tin cans. Yeah, tin cans. I'm gonna at some point pop up on different range targets up there that pop up. It's like metal ones, and when you hit them, they go down and then they pop back up again. No, I'm not Pete. I'm Dave. Um, so we can do them at different ranges, and then we can have fun with actually. Because I could set a bench up down there under a gazebo, and you could have two or three people sitting bench shooting, or you can stand shoot, or you could do prone shooting. But I like bench shooting. It's casual. It's I call it land fishing. You take your time, you enjoy it. You maybe have a beer if you like a beer. You have food. You just hang out, and you just practice your target shooting, and that's fun. That's a lot of fun. Like I say, um, we're not into. I'm not. I don't kill animals. I don't. I mean, if I have pests, there are ways of getting rid of them by deterrence rather than doing that. So that's never a thing of mine. I've never needed to do it. The only time I've ever needed a weapon is when I'm out in the woods because we do have, predatory wildlife and foxes actually can be very when they get rabies. Rabies does happen around here, so um, a rabid fox will attack, and so it pays to actually have some defence with you, just in case. Especially like me, you know, I'm in the middle of nowhere. I literally am. So I'm in the middle of 35 acres of forest here. So um, if you get injured out here and you have no contacts, with the outside world, then yeah, yeah. For food again, what Walter says, food. Um, Food's also another thing, and putting, that's very, especially in this country, a very known and well practiced thing, and um, people are allowed to take a deer in the right time. Hey, 23 babies, welcome in. So yeah, just saying. Yeah, I mean technically from where I'm sitting, and it's deer season, we get deer come through here all the time. And but I'm not really a big meat eater, so I eat some meat now and again, but I'm mostly vegetarian actually now, so you know I don't really eat meat much. Yeah, Walter's in the United States. I'd have to live on berries. Hello, little butterfly. Thank you very much, little butterfly. How are you? Good to see you all the way from India. I keep forgetting you, our friends. We need to make moderators so they can add each other. So if there's anybody I've missed, I'm not sure right now. Uh, be advised that I don't generally keep a lot of moderators, so usually only for the live streams, and then I have a small amount of people who are friends who will always be a moderator, usually because they'll help moderate the channel. If I'm not around. No, Barebone says I would not want to shoot birds. No, never, never shoot birds. I'm a nature lover. I do loads of nature videos, mate. I have several bird feeders around here and spend a lot of money on bird food for my own entertainment. I sit here and I have nature surrounded. Basically, I've got my own aviary going on. I have wild turkeys coming through. I have foxes. I have coyotes. I have um, all kinds of woodland creatures, And I'm never gonna. My attitude is I want them to come closer to me, to get familiar with me, not away, not frightened of me. So I've been doing that now since we've been here over a year, and nature is definitely a lot closer. I get birds coming right in here, and I put some sunflower seeds on a little chair over in the corner on the porch here, and they come in. They come into the rhododendron bush there, and they jump in, and they're 2 or 3 feet away, and they don't mind. Hummingbirds, I've got hummingbirds. They come into the tent and they fly around inside the tent and check you out, things like that. So that's what I like. Barebone says, Yeah, little butterfly. This is my house. Mine and my wife's house. Yeah, yeah. Barebone says I was telling Lee about a vlogger I watch. He was walking through nightlife Japan, and someone came up to him and ushered him into a shooting range. Huh. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't speak Urdu or Hindi, so it's really difficult for me when I go to a live stream in India from India to Cass. Difficult, but I'm grateful that you're here. Um, Showing the vlogger pictures of guns on the wall, and he said pick one and try it out. Wow. Yeah, well that's different. Down the line, pest control is very different. Um, I used to do pest control myself too. Yeah. At the local dump on Martha's Vineyard. If you don't know where Martha's Vineyard is, it's a posh island off the coast of Massachusetts. So me and a friend had actually a pest control company. So I'm on that too, you know. Um, but again, that's pest control compared to, the difference between that and just shooting things that move. Anybody that does that is it's annoying. Yeah. See, some people around in the live stream do know each other quite well. We we all of us do our live streams and we bump into each other, don't we? Yeah. Me so oh hello. In fact, I don't think even to this day me and DJ Pink know where we met. I'm confident it was through Fusion Rocket when she was on a live stream because she knew him, and then and he thinks it was from somewhere else. Yeah, wildlife's awesome. Nature and wildlife. I can't. I've got my own woodland park going on. I'm okay. Don't miss. Don't need to go anywhere else. But yeah, wildlife's awesome. What can I say? Well, I think just being able to actually grow your own food as well. I mean, that's also cool, right? I mean, we were growing food here last year, but I've changed the entire backyard and I'm gonna turf it, and put turf on. Um, but I had raised beds in there and such, in a greenhouse. By this time, I just opened it up for the birds and put some bird feeder trays up there. In fact, I'll show you one of those. They're quite funny. I'm going to load up this air rifle. We're going to do another shot and see what we do. If you let me know, should I mute the microphone? Maybe I'll just mute while I load it. Yeah, okay. I just, I sound English down the line says, yeah, it's because I am English, yeah. Well, I'm Scottish technically. I was just born in England. Yeah. I'm Scottish. My parents were Scottish, and I happened to be born in England while they were down in England. So, yeah. Been in the United States now since 2008. Well, actually, prior to that, I was stationed down at Fort Jackson for a year um, on a recall thing. I won't go into detail, but anyway, after 9/11, so I was down there for a year working with GIs. Oh, you're in Sunderland, northeast, yeah, good stuff. Well, originally I'm from Huddersfield in east West Yorkshire. DJ Pinky's in South Yorkshire, in Doncaster. Um, and then we have a couple of friends, Mrs. Magpie and what's his? Is it Jason Magpie or something? Mr. Magpie. You know, you can tell they're Newquay fans. You know. Why, man? Bare Bones is from West Yorkshire. He's from Leeds. Leeds. Leeds is about 17 miles north of where I'm from. Something like that. Leeds. I forgot about that. Yeah, I forgot. Sorry, Bare Bones. Aye. Why, aye, man? You kidding? Following the Tines, more mine, all mine. Following the Tines, all mine. Yeah, Jordan Magpie was just on his live stream. Ah. True story. I was once on a train from Leeds to back to Huddersfield. I was seeing a chick years ago now, obviously, more than 30 odd years. And anyway, I was on my way back to Huddersfield on the train, and and I sit down and in normal class, economy class, sit down, and there's a couple, an old couple with a young boy sitting there. Clearly, he's their grandparents, and I did a double take. I looked and I'm like, my God, that's Bobby Charlton, and it was, Bobby Charlton. If anybody who doesn't know, Bobby's like a national England football hero, and both the Charltons were Bobby and Jackie. Anyway, I couldn't believe it was Bobby Charlton because I support Manchester United, so he's like big there. He's like. So anyway, I had to double take, and as I was getting off the train, he turned around. I think he'd said something, and he was talking about Leeds United Football Club, and he was saying, "No, they used to be a good team." They used to be a good team. Well, good for you. Bare Bones doesn't follow football. Yeah, thank you for adding down the line, Walter. Appreciate that. All right. So I'm going to take another shot at our next target. Thank you for those likes. 21 likes. God, yes, you're great. And also thanks to everybody for hanging in there with me today. Um, no, I don't know why this device has gone off here. Just let me check. It's timed itself out. Backup device to make sure that the stream is still working good. Yeah, seems to be all right. I think. Yeah. Sorry about that. All right. Does Sunderland not get on with Newcastle? Sunderland? No. No, Sunderland, not really. Thought you would know that, Bare Bones. Good luck with what? Good luck with what, Bare Bones? Anyhow. Flora USA. I thought you said Flora USA. It's not, it's Flora Undisa, sorry. Right, so let me just, we'll take this one. Is it really? Your surname is Charlton. Well done. Yeah, get your hot dog sausage and a burger bun. Sunderland's a massive club. I'm actually going to just do it from this angle so you can see when I get to mount the rifle. I said that. Okie dokie. I don't know. You're not going to see the target, but anywho. Because I can't shoot with glasses on, so. Alright, so again, pistol grip. So a really nice, comfortable position. And the stock is a little narrow for me. It's like I say, it's a bit short and narrow, but I can like push forward. I can bring it up to my shoulder, and I can just keep that shooting my trigger finger here, and I can just really get comfortable on the pistol grip. Get my other fingers wrapped around my hand, and it's really just like getting the nice eye relief. You never put your eye, if you're not a shooter, you never put your eye up to a scope. You won't be able to see anything anyway. But if it's a rifle with recoil, what you will get is a nasty black eye from the recoil, and it punches you in the eyeball. That's not fun. I've seen people do it. I've told them, like, no, you need to be your eyes at least 4 inches away from the back of the rifle scope. Anywho, yeah, so we're looking at this larger target, the number 16, the one that the pellet dropped, the round actually dropped, even though we're on target. And I'm going to use the red dots on the center of the bullseye, because that really helps me be able to get a really nice view of that very small area. And we're going to try the same shot, see if we get the 16. Taking a couple of breaths, and I'm not going to hold my breath, I'm just slowing my heart rate down, and I'll take the shot in between breaths. This is usually where you're more calm, but this thing isn't moving one bit right now. Here we go. Range live. Bang on. Oh yes. I don't know if you heard that, but that was on. Which just proves the point that the first round I took was off. It dropped. You can't guarantee that, but at least I know it wasn't me. You know, it wasn't my bad shooting or pulling too much or whatever. Let's just bring this back. Let's see. Whew. Yeah, just try and turn out of the sun a little bit here, because it's getting a little hot, you know. Let's see. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm going to have to read back on this. Yep, no trolls. I'm just going to read back on what you say. Okay, well, I'm looking at the Sunderland being a big club. Yeah. Not that far north. I was guessing. Heard Mrs. Magpie talk about Newcastle and Sunderland. Bare bones. Do they wear socks with Crocs in Sunderland? Yes, we do. Oh my God, that's unbelievable. I honestly, that's terrible. We're all in agreement on wearing socks with Crocs. Since when did that ever become a thing? I mean, what's the point? Do they not like the feel of it, the whatever it is on the feet, so they wear socks? Oh, it's a crime, is that? Yeah, should have special prisons designed for people like that. Confiscate the Crocs and make them walk home in the socks. No, screw that. Confiscate the Crocs and their socks. Make them walk home in the bare feet. That'll teach them a lesson. Oh boy. Confiscate the Crocs. Deport them. Wow. Are you sure you're not a member of UK Reform Party there, Bare Bones? It's a sin. Oh God. You guys are funny. Right, so we have one more target that I'm going to take a pop at, and then before I go back down and we look at them. And we've been going just over an hour, so probably do another 20 minutes, I guess, unless you guys want to continue to hang out with me and take a walk, but which we can do, but I doubt you'll want to hang out with me for that long. That's nuts. Here we go. I didn't mute the mic, so sorry if it hurts your ears. Please turn down your volumes if it does. This is the only problem with this thing. I hate it for doing this, really, but yeah. I have a nice 2.2 coming soon, which is the Gamo Swarm Maxim Gen 3. It's 2.2 break barrel. but it has a 10-round magazine. So I can't wait to try that. And it's one of the most powerful ones actually that you can buy. In 177, it's flat. It's FPS is 1,650, so it's above supersonic. Uh, Even though it's moderated or has a silencer on it, it's still loud. It does make a crack, obviously. So this is obviously subsonic. Supersonic, you have to be over 780 miles per hour. This probably does about 300 miles an hour, 3 to 350. That's the speed of the pellet it's travelling. 12 feet to pound, good question. Don't know. But I'm just saying, it's, what was I saying, in 2.2 that brings that down to FPS to about 1250, so it's still supersonic. So I'm getting the 2.2. And we're going to try that one out, you know, when I get it. I can't remember how many times I've pumped this son of now. One more. Oh yeah, that's well done. Right, so that's locked and loaded. Bare bones for Prime Minister. I told the foreign security guard on the beach about the woman wearing her Crocs and socks, and he went looking for her. Yeah, maybe. Do you know? Oh, that's a point. I wanted to bring that up. There's asylum hotels over there in the UK. You have all these asylum hotels, right? And I just saw that they're closing them all down, aren't they? They're trying to, right? They're going to close them all down. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Well, they're closing them down, aren't they? Returning them back to the communities up there, calling it. So I think you have every right to actually make a, you know, people should complain, say, well, you know, when is this one closing then? You know, because obviously the people who are operating it are making money out of the taxpayer, aren't they? You know, income support or social security payments or whatever they get. I don't know. All right, I'm going to reverse the camera. I'm probably going to just make this the last one for now because it's getting way too hot for me to keep doing this for long. But, you know, it's, what would they say? There's an old saying, only mad dogs and Englishmen go out in the noonday sun. Well, I'm in a freaking mesh tent here that I built as a sunshade and it's still too warm. I've been used to hotter temperatures than this, but anyway. Quick reverse. And Bare Bones was violated in Bournemouth, I'm telling you. It took him all about his civil liberties there, I think. He refused him entry to a hotel because he wasn't an asylum seeker, because it was only for asylum seekers. Isn't that weird? And it's in Bournemouth. I mean, this is a seaside resort. So, I mean, oh yeah. I'll be an asylum seeker and go and live in an English seaside resort. And, well, you know what I mean? It's a recipe for a mess, that. Okay, third target. Well, I'm looking at the first one. I was aiming at the 16 and I did pull it slightly to the right. It's just off of the 16. I won't retry that one because I haven't hit this other one yet. So I'm going to try the same again. I'll let you know how it goes. Oh yeah, red dot sight on. Nice clear view. Some wobble there actually. I'm just going to reset. Okay. Range live. Ooh. Oh, that was a clipper. Yeah, that clipped. I'll try one more real quick. Yeah, that's a good workout. That's like using one of those bullflex or whatever they were called. Good on the shoulders and the bicep and the try. One more on this son of a, because I pulled that one. Definitely pulled that. I don't seem to have the... There we go. Right, That's better. Yeah, I think I can just clipped it to the left of the can. Okay, reset. There's live. Oh yeah, that's it. Bang on. Holy shit. Okay. Red off. Whew. Yeah. I'm not doing anything and I'm sweating. So that's just a bit of fun. Let's see what your chatters are saying. And then we'll go down there again and then maybe just take a little walk in the woods. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at other ways of doing that, Lee, right now. I mean, it works for me. Doing it like this for a short period it is a bit tiresome. I mean, it does move. So I'm just going to get a proper. I really had a good tripod rest years ago, and I'm just going to get one of those again. I gave it away like an idiot. One time I got around the side taking interviews. The guards came out, gathered up all the refuge and took them inside. Okay, Walter. Thank you for being with us, my friend. Yeah, you have a great day. Enjoy your lunch. I need to be going for lunch in a few minutes too, so maybe 10, 15. All right, look, thanks for being with us and have a blessed day, Walter. Good to see you again, my friend. I hope I haven't missed anybody else out. I'm going to go down there, take this thing off. There we go. Whoa. Yeah, you see another thing, Lee, about I'm sitting in a rocking chair, mate. It's, you know, I'm not, you know. So I'm actually sitting on a rocking chair while I'm doing that as well. So it's not the best, but I make it work. Let's see. Might help if I flip the camera. There we go. Take you for a little stroll. Need a drink? Yeah, so this is our boudoir tent for those who have not seen our porch yet. Yeah, so this is our porch. I'll show you this real quick and into the house there. Got the door open. I've got a screen mesh up for bug screens. So we won't go in now. Come out here and did this. Yeah. Although that's starting to split, so I'll have to get some more. But they're cheap. That's my, that looks like weeds, but it's actually a wildflower garden. And there's a bird bath over there. Birds like that. This was all, you know, raised beds. But I cleared those out, and those are my bird feeders, my grill area, but my small fire pit, you know. But I'm gonna get a lawn, put a lawn down on that next year. So that was that. Let's go and have a look downrange, shall we? And I've got my eyes on the text. No, bare bones. No, I didn't build that. No, this house was built 25 years ago. It's 25 years old, and the original owner did all the decking, and it's got a full basement downstairs. So, you know, if you're 6'5", you'll struggle to bang your head. It's a deep basement, solid concrete walls, about 2 feet thick. So it's technically it could live down there as well. It's nice and cool, you know. This is our big fire pit that we like to use, but I haven't used it much. And when we had a party, we had some friends over, so I did have a big fire in here, and then some of them went through the bloody beer cans in the fire, didn't they? So now I have to clean it out. So yeah, that's our graveyard, folklore graveyard. Yeah, you maybe can see some of it. I'm not sure. It's a little bench, and I have a camera up on there. And I was contemplating putting a little platform on this bench, because I could use this piece of wood there and put a bracket on there, and then put the cans there, and then the camera, you'd be able to see right really up close. Now I'd be probably shooting from over there, but it's, you know, I didn't want to. I was too lazy, so I didn't. I did this instead. Right. Oh, go over here. Let's have a look at these. Maybe I can go around the front. I don't know. Cans. These cans we've been shooting at here. On this big tree. Okay. So the first target, I was aiming for the 16 at the bottom of the can. It says 16 ounce. So that's the front that I was looking at. Well, that was to the right on that one. You can see. Pretty sure I pulled that. Because if we come down over here a sec, I know I clipped one. Ow. Yeah, I see it. So this is the smaller of the ones. That was the 12 ounce. And I did say I was aiming just above the 12, didn't I? So I was aiming for between the two blue ribbon areas, so that's a bullseye. Yeah. See the exit point. I like that how you can see the dent from the pellet. But it's thin tin. You know. And here is actually the round. Looking, where's the camera? There it is. Pretty squished there. So I'll take that away. And then the third one, again, the first round clipped to the left. I said that, I called it. That was me, I pulled it. Second shot, I'd say that's a bullseye, wouldn't you? Not bad. What's Lee got to say about that? Nothing. Probably. Yeah, it's crap, I could do that. Way better. What, you call yourself a suitor? Thank you, Flora. I'm going to take you for a walk again in a minute. I just need to, I'm going to reset these for me for later when because I put the rocks up and they stay up forever, even in high winds, you know. So they just stay up and I put a rock on the top like that. And the pellets just go straight through them, so it usually doesn't knock them off. So I don't have to keep coming up. Now, again, that's that one there that I missed. Just off to the right of the 16. Right, put that one there. Big rock. There. Alright, let's take a little walk. Ooh, oh, it's nice up here, it's cool. You can see over there, there's a pink target. That was for very long range for that little rifle there. To hit that in the bullseye, you'd have to aim up at the 1 o'clock position, about 2 feet up. Actually, the pellet would drop that far. But yeah, there's a can over here I put on a tree stump ages ago now. Let's have a look at that one. I was very proud of this one. Why? Mostly because it's so far away. I turn away, look, it's quite a long way. And my first shot, I missed, and I saw the pellet through the scope hit about here. So I thought, huh. So I aimed up here, this area, and hit right in the middle, right there. So I haven't moved that since, but literally, I was aiming up here. Where's my finger? There. Yeah, I was aiming up here. Boom. That's how far it dropped. Whew. Right, so I'm cooling down. I'm in the woods. Put my glasses on. Okay, Flora. Have a wonderful day, you two, evening. Hope you have a good rest and hope you're not too cold. Thanks for coming in, sweetie. Appreciate you. And your like. Oh. So I haven't pinned anybody yet, have I? Oh. Yeah, everybody, Flora's a great person. Nice lady from Kenya. I want to check her channel out sometime. Yeah, I've got Cabelas. Exploding targets, yeah, they're fun. Yeah. He once stuck a full pack together, shot a 2-2 at it. Fence panel to bits. Yeah. Oh, that's a lot of fun. Yeah, I mean, you know, you don't need to necessarily run around with a Kalashnikov, do you? Oh, well, yeah. AR-15. Yeah, I mean, there's loads of really good air rifles out there that are perfectly good for self-defense and for hunting, so if that's what you're into. It doesn't necessarily have to be a powder charge weapon. But to be fair, powder chargers are easier to use. Well, it's easier to load them, isn't it? Unlike an air weapon, it has to be charged. Other than that, and it has a limited amount of times it can be shot before it needs to be recharged. So we're just looking down the valley there, down a little gully. It's a pathway. Goes all the way around to the cemetery. Just drops it down there a little bit. And yeah, I've got powder charge weapons. I've got a number of them from. God, I wasn't even going to tell you. I don't like talking about them online really, but yeah. So that pathway is all the way around there, and it sort of comes out below the cemetery over there, But then it's the rest of our woods really. So it's just a pain because I wish it was all flat, because then I could go all the way over there and go really deep into the woods. But at the minute, I can't really go further because I'll lose the signal. As soon as you go down there, it's boom. 5G. I have an outside 5G extender on the house. So it manages to push a good signal all the way up here, but once you get further down, it starts dropping. And then I go on to the regular fan. That's regular 5G, whatever public. It's again in the woods. It's not that good, So it'll be spotty at best. So yeah. I've got about 7 or 8 pistols, I guess, ranging various calibers up to a 45, and I've got I've got a 50 cal. I've got a couple of 40 cals. I've got rifles I've got a 303, a couple of the American ones. I've got an AR, got an MP9, and I've got an M4 as well. So a couple of shotguns. But yeah, you can see why when I was teaching kids, this was a perfect place to shoot, and just to come spend time out in the woods, away from people, and showing them bushcraft, field crafts, and wood, and basically we'd just camp out and shoot and practice air rifle target shooting in the woods. Have a really good time, just hanging out, having fires, bringing some beans, and then telling stories around the campfire. It was fun. Poor man's 303. Probably a crock and socks transgressor that owned the fence. I know. Well, I was a lucky kid, me. I was in the Combined Cadet Forces. I went to Bridlington Boys' School, the grammar school, when I lived over there. And, so I was in the Combined Cadet Forces from being 12 onwards. And when I left when I was 15. So I did quite well with the CCF. And then it wasn't later on, when I was 18, just after the Falklands had happened, I just decided I was going to sign up. So I cut my hair and I got rid of my colours because I was a biker and wanted to be a Hell's Angel at the time, or a Satan slave out of Bradford anyway. I was prospecting for them. And I just thought, F it, and I left. And I went and signed up. But I remember all my training from the CCF. The regular army would come, and in fact we got to ride around in one of the first Scorpion tanks. So I would have been about 1978. And they'd bring an armoured car with them and take you for rides around the school playing fields in the armoured car and the Scorpion, and that was fun. So and then you would get to do night exercises with them, and if you did one of those in the cadet force, I was in the army branch obviously, and if you did that, you got 3 days off school because you were up all night. So it counted as 3 days school. So I was into that, going on night exercises and all. It was fun, you know, better than cowboys and Indians. Piss off, Bridlington's a poor man's Scarborough. I don't give a shit what you say about Bridlington. I'm not from there. I went there. I think it's a crap hole, basically. And Scarborough ain't no better, so don't get me started on that. Will you get to see the eclipse? No, no, Lee, I won't. But you guys will, so I shouldn't keep you too long. Starts around, yeah, eating beans and farting. Yeah. Um, you know, we don't see it here. You will, so you shouldn't. Like, what time is it now? Wow, it's must be getting on. Oh God, I hate Filey. But anyway, the East Coast, man. When you talk a place, you can't get any worse than on the West Coast, like Blackpool, and I live there as well. Smackpool. So I've lived in some of the worst places in England. Don't get me started. Man. Blackpool. God, what a place that is. I'm being attacked by a twig. Get off. So, eclipse time for you guys then, soon. So, I know you'll be wanting to catch it. I think it's around, isn't it between like 6 and 7 p.m. your time in the UK? For me, you know, remember I'm 5 hours behind you guys, so, you know. Eating beans. Apparently the sun will go behind the moon. Never heard so much drivel in my life. What? Jeez. How do I pin that? Wait, where is it? Well, that's not right. I understand that. Where do you, how do you, oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah. Blind as a bat. Piss off, fly. Oh. Yeah, my hip is starting to bug me now, guys. My right hip. Walking is starting to feel difficult. I can feel it going numb, actually, my leg. For you who don't know, I have a steel right thigh bone instead of a real one. I had it replaced in 2008. So, technically I shouldn't be walking. But here we are. So, let's go back up here, shall we? So, I can get my breath a little bit and sit in the shade for a sec. That was nice. I'm glad you came with us for that. A little bit of a stroll around, and I hope that you guys get to catch the eclipse and, you know, have fun with that. Watch out for tomorrow. I know it's supposed to be really super hot. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to see no moon. Not yet. It magically appears. I don't know. Oh. I hope you're not a flat earther. Ah, boy. See what time we are. Ooh, yes. Okay. Well, guys, man, this has been awesome. I hope you enjoyed that little thing that we did and hung out with us. It's what is it? It's 12:35 nearly here, so that makes it 5:35 in the UK. So yeah, your time for the eclipse is coming. We'll do this again soon, and just as a hobby, let's just stay. No critters or live stream viewers were harmed during this broadcast. Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for being here, man. Appreciate it and hanging out. It's been good. Like I said before, guys, if we do this again, I'll definitely try and do it so I'll run it through OBS on the laptop. I mean, on the desktop inside. So Pam, our producer, she could be just there, and we can have a double, you know, a split screen. So I'll probably do it in, you know, horizontal format. So it won't get as many people coming in. It'll be just regular, so you know, people that know it's there. It won't be open up on the shorts feeds or whatever in live feeds so much. And we'll do a double thing, and we can chat about that maybe. What I'd love to be able to do is do a sometime where we actually show off our little toys, you know, together on a private stream somehow, but that's for the future. I, just to say before I do finish up, guys, if you want to hear me out for a sec, we've got this new episode coming up this weekend. We're going to do it on Saturday. We were going to release it Friday evening, but because of how a lot of people won't get to see it because it'll be late for them by then, because we were going to do it like 7 o'clock here, which would make it midnight for you. So we're going to do it on Saturday. So we'll release it early Saturday afternoon here. So it'll be still early in, you know, in other parts of the world, or at least a better time. And it'll probably be a bit, you know, a premiere. This is probably only about half an hour. Join in the chat, watch the new video that we've made. It's exceptionally good. I hope that you really like it. It's very engaging, very professional looking. So apart from me, of course, because I'm not professional. But yeah, absolutely, I will. Yeah, when it's uploaded, I'll let you know. For sure. Whew. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. I think I'm going to wrap it up for now. It's been great hanging out with you. Thanks for your chat and everything, and making it a lot of fun. Also for supporting other people if you have. Just want to make sure. I look back at me. Yeah, I'm just checking on everybody. Great conversation. All right, brothers, sisters, thank you very much. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And the guys in the UK, fully enjoy that eclipse. Catch you later. Bare Bones, don't know your first name, but what's your first name? You can let me know before I go if you want. I can't remember. I'm sure I knew. Is it Cedric? I bet it is, isn't it? Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's been fun. All right, man. Catch you all later. Bye.